do not go anywhere because I'm going to show you how awesome the Canon R50 is, why you should check it out, and also later in the video some things you want to think about when buying this or any particular camera you want to check out. So do not go anywhere because I'm Dave from TVR Creators and I make weekly content on the best cameras for beginners and hobbyists. If that sounds interesting, you do get to like and subscribe, and come on! Let's bring on the VAT. So the Canon R50 really is a camera worth checking out in the time of this video. So things you want to think about now, that can be really complex if you want it to be. You can play around the shutter speed and the ISO, and by doing that you just go into the settings, and basically my best rule of thumb is see what the video looks like in your video in the screen, see what it looks like, and you can adjust it accordingly. But if you're beginner starting out, I massively recommend put it into video mode and off you go. The AI of this camera will do all the heavy lifting for you. And some cool little power tips about this camera: it has up to an hour record time, which is really good if you use it for podcasts or live streams and stuff like that, or if you're just going to interview someone or talk for a while, you want that extra sort of footage, which is something to bear in mind. And that's something that you have in these sort of the more budget cameras or the first time cameras. In the time of this video, the Canon R50 is probably one of the best cameras I have in my arsenal at the moment, though I'm actually using an M50 to record this video. But the R50 really is the younger brother and does everything the M50 does but better. Now, some things you want to think about when you're buying this camera: if you use it for photography, it has a lovely viewfinder so you can see what you're doing, nice little flash on the top, which is really nice. And something that I know that some of you like to see is a beautiful sensor. Let's see if we can get that for you there. There it is, look, in all its glory, and I love doing that. I don't know why, it's just really cool. Now, this really is a really nice interchangeable lens camera. You can play around with all sorts of different lenses, and a question I get asked quite a lot here on the channel is, what is the best lens? Well, it's very much by, depending on what you're using it for. Now, the 18-45mm that comes with this camera is perfectly fine for video and photography. Now, if you're a blogger or if you're in a small space, you might want to look at like a 15mm pancake lens down the road, or just maybe have the camera slightly further away. Playing around with that is my best recommendation. But to begin with, the kit lens that comes with this camera will be perfectly fine. Now, some things you want to think about: this will come with a battery, a strap, it'll be semi-charged, that sort of thing. I like the fact it has a nice record button on the top, which the M50 had, but in a different low place, and you can put it into auto if you can just take some cool photos. But I recommend down the road play around the manual mode and play around with different lighting and shutter speed and ISO. I like it has a touch screen and it has improved AI, so it's really good at focusing on objects. So you can just tap on the screen and it will focus and follow you around, which is really cool if you're like me and you're moving around quite a lot, which is really cool about these sort of cameras. Now, I definitely recommend a spare battery just in case you run out and you're out and about, or just have one ready to go. So say like today, I want to do some filming, perhaps I've done this quite a lot, the battery's about to run out and you can quickly put in a new one, charge your old one, and off you go. Just things like that to bear in mind. Some gear I'll definitely think about is things like a tripod, which I'm using at the moment, which is a great I always call it the creator's best friend because it holds the camera. You don't have to worry about what the camera is, and I would have the lens sort of eye level slightly up. It just, I don't know, I always feel it makes me look a little bit better. I don't know if that's true or not, but it just seems to anyway. But what's really cool about this camera, it does have that nice little flip screen. You can see exactly what you're recording, which is really nice when recording. It has a microphone port, so you can attach a microphone. I tend to use like a Rode microphone like I'm using today, so you can hear the audio quality from that. But you can use wireless microphones, clip-on microphones, whatever microphone you want to use. Bear in mind, it does have an internal microphone, which is perfectly fine for recording indoors, if it's not filming, not windy. But I would definitely recommend a shotgun microphone, definitely to begin with, and it attaches very easily on top of the camera, improving your video massively, because half of all video is audio, and that's something to bear in mind when using any sort of camera, when it really but this, what I definitely think of when think about beginners and video and stuff like that, is start with a kit lens. You can see what you're filming with a beautiful touch screen which can face you and turn around, all that other stuff. It's got the lovely mic port, so you can attach a microphone, stick it on a tripod, and off you go. My massive power tip there: spare battery, tripod, and experiment. Don't be scared, just play around. If you're a bit scared to begin with, just put it into video mode and the camera will do all the heavy lifting for you. And if it's a bit darker, or if you're under trees and stuff like that, the AI of the camera and the lens will sort of adjust the light. Just give it a second, it'll adjust the light, and that's a really nice way to start. I actually did that in the yesterday's video, the timeless video. I just gave the camera a few seconds and just adjusted the light accordingly, and it just looks so much better. But obviously you can play around with lights and stuff like that. But this camera really is worth checking out. It's a 24 megapixel camera. You get it now for about 500-600, maybe a bit more. I highly recommend getting a Renewed or stuff like that. There is a link to this in the description, so go and check it out. And if you're getting value so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. Really do appreciate it. And why not buy us a coffee? Link to that in the description if you're getting proper value. But you know, I love this camera. It's a great little camera. Does it cost the earth? It feels professional, looks professional. It does takes some really nice photos, and the video actually is a little bit more crisp as well, a bit more sharp. I can't think of the right word off the top of my head, but I just really like this camera, really nice. And some things to think about when getting this camera, or any particular camera, is see what you can afford. You don't have to spend the earth, because I know some people might think you have to spend thousands to get a great camera. You can get this for, like I say, 500-600, maybe 700 at a push if it comes with things, but you know, the prices change all the time. Link to this in the description. But just bear in mind, you know, get a camera with a good lens. These sort of, the M50, the R50, those sort of cameras give really nice pictures in both photography and in video. Definitely get a camera with a microphone port, so you can attach a microphone to it. Definitely get a tripod, spare battery, and just a Spearmint. That's my massive recommendation. A Spearmint. Enjoy what you're doing. And I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and in a moment I'm going to leave you 2 end cards that are possibly going to bring you even more value. Thank you so much for watching, and you know what? I'm going to see you in the next video. Why? Because let's sing it together now. You guys rock! You guys